The difference between senior plus engineers and early career engineers is basically stories. After you get your first software engineering role, you can develop the technical talent in terms of ability to code to the senior level within a couple years. You can develop the technical talent, but that doesn't mean you're going to get the job, because passing the interview or going for promo, both are pretty difficult. And the main way to pass the interview is to accumulate these stories, behavioral anecdotes for the STAR method. So in this video, I'll talk about some different kinds of STAR method anecdotes that you can acquire. I think it's pretty common knowledge that you should be acquiring these stories, and they should have a quantitative impact, and you want to mention them on your resume. But I think a lot of early career individuals are not monitoring their environment to take note of the many stories that are around them all the time. You can actually start implementing these while you're still a student or before that first job, and you will just crush the early career job market because your peers are just not even thinking about these things. Make sure to follow the page for tech career tips, and with that, let's get into the first tip. Latency and user interactions are the two easy ones that you can even do with side projects. Take Google Analytics, put it on your website, and you can watch page views would be one user engagement, but also things like signups or any particular call to action. So what you're going to be able to demonstrate is, I made a change and users took this action more often. And you can turn that into a percentage measurement. That's a smart metric. Third smart metric is monetary changes. This could be increased revenue or reduced cost. These are going to be more common on business, less common on side projects. Your side projects might be cost free anyway. Fourth is development velocity, and there's a bunch of stuff that goes under here. You could do faster CI/CD pipeline. You could do lower memory usage on your CI/CD pipeline, but you could put that also under cost and latency. Some stuff that's unique here, one is observing bugs. So improvements to logging, improvements to monitoring, catching bugs and then fixing bugs more quickly. This includes non-technical changes, like maybe you made a playbook or a run book, which if someone encounters a certain kind of error in the future, they're able to resolve that issue more quickly because of this documentation that you created. So documentation changes are something that you can take advantage of. This also includes developer tools. So if you make a tool that makes it easier to ship, some of that could go under latency improvements or cycle time, developer feedback loop. So CI/CD would fall into that category. But there's other things you can do here like scripts, maybe a migration improvement. So that, can you imagine if someone was having to do native SQL migrations and this was really cumbersome, then you made a script that made it much easier. That would be like a database migration. You can also do code migrations. This will be less common, but it does happen, where a company is doing a legacy code migration or modernization. And early in these projects, typically developers will need to migrate components by hand, which is really slow and painful. As you go along the project, you can develop scripts. You can develop scripts that automate bits of that migration. And you can see 10x plus speed ups in terms of the developer velocity if you're able to grok a pattern in the migration and then automate it with a script. That's a really great move. Number 5 is accuracy. Have to finish up with some AI stuff. So improvements to data quality, data collection, data cleaning, and then that can make your model better even if the model is held constant, the input data better in, better out. So you can have better accuracy, lower error. There's so many different accuracy metrics that you can almost p-hack it. So you can do something the equivalent of p-hacking where you're selecting features that are more significant. You can do this for your career. You can task hack where you just pick out the tasks that are most successful for your resume. And this is standard practice, by the way. This is not p-hacking in the academy is kind of considered unethical, basically. Task hacking in business is actually considered proper prioritization because you're not wasting the other person's time pitching them on stuff that's second best. So different measures of accuracy, different outcomes in your model. Maybe you're willing to take lower accuracy because it makes the model so fast or so cheap. So there's different ways you can optimize your model. Any of them, take any of them. So better data, even without model changes, picking whatever optimization criteria. And the third aspect of models will be changing the model itself, the model architecture. So black box to white box, explainability will be good here. So either add explainability on top of a black box model or remove explainability in order to get better predictive power, better accuracy, lower cost, whatever. So going into an XGB. And then there's so many architectures. So if you do something with generative AI, just put yourself in the shoes of the interviewer who's going to ask you why'd you do that? Like why do I care that you can generate images now? Oh, because it cuts down on your design people's time that they're spending. Great. That almost fits into that development velocity number 4 earlier. But it's like AI fueled now. So this is, and AI stuff you can also do in your side projects, right? You can make things faster and more accurate. Maybe not cheaper if you're dealing with free tier, but there's still optimizations and smart metrics you can pull, even if you haven't had your first job yet, but also after your first job. Okay, so that's been 5 of these concrete examples of smart metrics that you can pull for your behavioral interview and for your resume, for your portfolio. Hope this helps. Follow for more.